We're starting. There it is. Welcome to the special Tuesday edition, the trade deadline show for the 8th Street Connection. The 2018 trade deadline is upon us. And to start off the show, I have a big announcement. The trade deadline was going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central, but Commissioner Powers has overruled, and I've decided to change it to Thanksgiving Day at 11 a.m. right before the Bears and Lions kick off. So that gives you a whole other 24 hours to make any deals and talk trade if you so please. So with that said, keep that in mind in the show, and we'll introduce the other two co-hosts we have with me. Obviously, Shell, our lovely co-host that we have weekly, but then we have Austin Nelson. How are you doing today, Austin?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Just fine. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's great to be here on the trade deadline show. Even though I'm out of the playoffs, I'm still looking to better my squad to make sure I don't have to do any punishments. So your maiden voyage on the 8th Street Connection show, Austin. I'm excited to have you on here.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited to be here as well.
And Isaac Anderson makes his second appearance on the show. He had a big win last night, overcoming Zeeves' bad squad. So what do you got to say today, Isaac?
I just want to say, hey, thanks for having me again. I believe the ruling is that if you're on the show, you win. So I'm not sure what that means for us, but good luck this week.
Not the preview show. I don't count it.
Shell is in charge of all rules determining the automatic wins. So yeah, that's another programming note. We will have a preview show on Saturday morning, kind of what we've been doing lately. So today's just kind of a week 11 review and trade deadline special, talking about trades and what we think might happen, what we've been hearing in the old trade rumors. So with that said, we are going to preview or review week 11. So we'll start right there. We can start out by talking about my game. I got walloped by Matt Ellingson after I traded for 2 running backs on bye, which were Nick Chubb and Matt Breida from Tom. Gave up Joe Mixon. LA's team had a big week, and my team was bad this week, is bad. So I think there's not much to say. We can just move on to the next one.
Yep.
You guys have anything to say
about that one?
What'd you say, Austin?
I don't mind talking about that game.
Oh, what do you have to say about it, Austin? I would love to hear it.
I mean, I don't really have much to add. I just like having you continue to talk about
my dreadful team.
Your like college level squad. Like this team couldn't win an SIC championship, much less an NFL game.
So you think I would lose to the MSUM Dragons and Monet Swafford, who's still on the roster?
Off Island.
Hey, quote from Austin Nelson during pre-show shenanigans: "I would not roster one player off of the Dark Lord Voldemorts."
Which is preposterous.
That's the truth.
Maurice Harris. So
he's got a lot of upside, a lot of targets.
Yeah, so does Jarvis Landry, but he's shitty as hell. So I guess you point taken. You win.
Thank you.
All right. Enough of that nonsense. We'll go on to another nonsense game, Isaac, which we talked about earlier. You got that big win last night with Mahomes, Gurley, Robert Woods, Travis Kelce having a field day in the exciting game last night. How about that game? Let's break to that. That's more exciting than this matchup against the meat beaters. Any takeaways from last night's game? Do you guys watch, enjoy?
I thought it was fantastic. I did get texted by a couple of league members that told me to just start the guys going last night, just to send a message to the league and just kind of stunt on some people. I didn't do that. You know, I've matured a lot as an owner, so I got to get the wins when I can. But yeah, if I would have started 4 guys, I would have gotten the W. So I don't know.
You're not saying, you're just saying though.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was a fun game last night. I thoroughly enjoyed.
I would actually much rather have like a 1982 10-3 Blizzard cold thumping football.
You want the Chicago Bears 1985 defense up against the Minnesota Purple People Eater.
Fucking NBA, get out of here with that crap.
All right, well, this game we had like the first one, one team that's locked into the playoffs with Isaac, and one team that is basically locked into the toilet bowl consolation bracket in Matt Zebarth. So with that, we'll move on to the next one. Kind of the same thing here. This week can kind of be categorized into the winners versus the upper class versus the lower class. Kind of. We had Trevor Lofstad party like an ACL tear, moving to 9-2 on a 5-game heater against Dylan Alderman on a 2-game losing streak, dropping to 3-8. Dylan only put up 81 points. He did successfully start a full lineup this week, though, so that's a step in the right direction for him. Yeah, this week in review is not much to note here. We know which teams are good and we know which teams are bad at this point. Del, do you have anything to say here?
I got nothing. Honest, the first 3 games, better teams, worse teams. And that's going to be the case for 2 of the next 3 previews. There is one though that I would like you to touch on right now.
What is that?
It is out of what we call, let's just call them the Grinders division. I don't know if that's what their actual name is. But I want to talk about Sorum and Chuck's dream. Just an absolute fist fight.
This was a battle of attrition if I've ever seen one. We had Rudy's Chance putting up a real nice 69 points exactly on the dot. So shout out to you, Sorum, for doing that. Took the loss still though to Brett Bergeson's Chuck's Dream, putting up 74.1, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the second lowest total of the week. I would have. Let me make sure this is right. I think I would have beaten both teams this week, which shows you how bad these 2 teams were.
I just noticed that Sorum's bench almost outscored his starting lineup, which is wild to think about.
Yeah. He had Josh Reynolds get 2 touchdowns. Christian Kirk, did he have 2 touchdowns? No, he just had 1. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Yeah. So tough decision-making here on Sorum's end. He started Ryan Fitzmagic, who got benched in the early in the second half. And Kirk Cousins, he sat him, and if he would have put him in, he would have pulled out the victory to make it to 6-5 and dropping Brett out of the playoffs for sure. But as it stands now, both teams are at 5-6, only 1 game back from Tom. So anything can still happen with Tom still needing to play both of these teams, if I remember correct.
A big fight, baby. But we'll save that for the preview now. Come on now.
We'll save that one for Saturday. So there's our teaser for that game. So this game was atrocious. Like I've been saying all the last couple of weeks, these teams have just bad. Sorum should also be noted. Sorum started Demaryius Thomas, who saw 1 target the whole game. Sat two guys who had 2 touchdowns or multiple touchdowns on the bench. So good on you, Sorum. Good try. Better luck next time.
Next year.
All right. So with that, we can go on to. Oops, that's the same one. Austin, we can go to your game.
I didn't see what happened. Can you break it down for me?
Yeah, I can break it down for you here, Austin. We had Team Victory Lap versus Austin Nelson's the 4, 18, 12, 19 Dragons. He incorrectly put the numbers on there, but he meant 6, 12, 18, 24.
That is correct.
Which looks like I might be doing eventually. But anyways, that's beside the point. Austin, you put up a total of 175 points, which is an amazing number. I think only Tom's team last week has outscored you this year. A couple of big other points in the 70s and 60s, but huge score nonetheless. And then without setting his lineup, Casey still managed 90 points, would have beat a couple people in the league. Had some big games, didn't have a kicker, defense, or a second running back. So he could have had some big points and could have maybe the points would have helped him in the playoff run eventually. I don't think he was going to get to Austin's huge total. But Austin, what do you got to say about your squad? You're looking really good the last couple of weeks.
Thank you. I'm very happy with how everything's turned out. some bad moves this year. I'm not going to lie. But my team has rallied behind their owner, and I'm very proud of them.
You know, Austin, you have for many years said that you are building for the future. Are you still building for that future, or do you think that future is finally here?
I'd like to see how the last couple weeks go here. Obviously, if I make the playoffs, that's a good start. But I still think we're in the rebuild mode. We have a really young core, and I'm excited to see how I can add to it next draft.
Right. Oh. The Dragons are always looking forward and planning for the future, and you really have to commend them for that. You know, the long view is always the good view.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm still 2 years away.
I kind of thought you were more 2 years away from being 2 years away.
That's probably a better way to look at it. The end of the end.
All right. Last game to review here. We had the game of the week. We had Mia Khalifa's Lucky Day versus the Tommy Potters. Tommy had a lot of guys on bye this week and was desperately trying to get that second running back. So it should be known that I was in trade talks with trying to trade Joe Mixon, who I don't personally like a whole lot, but has quite a bit of fantasy value. I was trying to trade him to both Tom and Devin all week. Devin and I had kind of agreed to a deal, but I was kind of waiting back to hear if Tom would accept this other deal, which he said he wasn't going to do. But Sunday morning, out of nowhere, accepts the deal. Joe, to say you were butthurt would be an understatement, correct?
My team managed to rally back behind that. You know, that was kind of a hit to the face, harder than Joe Mixon actually hit that chick in the restaurant that one night. We bounced back, you know. I think it was kind of karma for Tom doing a move like that, for you doing a move like that, to not even have the integrity to involve me in such matters. Carson Wentz, solid 0.8. You know what? Yeah, you deserve that, Tom. You suck. So anyway, and he was calling out my team a couple weeks ago. I'm furious. I'm hot. Tommy Potter, you ain't shit. You've never been shit. You will never be shit. We'll get more into the preview show, but I took care of business. That's all it is.
All right, Shell, you move on to 7-4. Tom drops to 6-5. Tom both teams still leading here their division here. Tom has only got a 1-game lead though, but Tom does have his starters coming back off their bye week, so it should be interesting to see. And you'd assume Wentz isn't going to put up another 0.8 effort, but you never know. So that said, that's the week 11 in the books. We're on to week 12. And right now we'll do a quick breakdown of the standings. So let me get to it here. I'm sure you guys all basically know what's going on. Let's see if this works. You guys, can you see the standings here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the Whalers division, we have 2 members from there here. We have Devin Shell at 7-4 and Austin at 5-6, and Team Victory Lap at 4-7. Looks like Casey is basically out of the running, and Austin noted that although he's 5-6, he does have the most points for out of the teams outside of the playoffs. So that is what he is holding on to right now. Do you think you're going to take that, Austin, or do you think you're going to be able to take down the Whalers division?
I'd rather have Devin win it. It means way more to him than it does to me.
So you're going with the Zeebs approach on this one, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, Shell, like Zeeb says, Shell and some of you guys do all the off-season research. I'm more of the kind of guy that does just show up for the draft. So Shell, I know it would mean a lot to you, and you'd be devastated if you did end up blowing this to me. So I hope you pull it out. Good luck.
I took care of you once already this year. That's just, I mean.
And you beat me in fantasy. Which,
oh, shit.
All right, Isaac, what do you think? Who's going to take down the Whalers division? Is it going to be Devin, or is it going to be Austin getting a 2-game heater here?
You know, I like both teams right now. I think they're both trending up, if that makes sense. I think I'd rather play Shell at this point.
I really would.
I'd rather play Shell.
You know what?
I'd say go Devin. Go Pack, go.
All right. I like that, Isaac. I like it. I think both these teams will be really good. I almost might lean with you. The Saquon, the Tyreek Hill, the Keenan Allen, that's just so much upside. I mean, Devin's got Melvin Gordon and Devontae Adams, but other than that, it's just kind of weekly hit or miss. So
I've never have been attacked like this in my life. In my life. You're going to shit on my quarterback? You're going to shit on my tight end? Might I add?
Yeah, Gerald Everett. Hey, we should mention that Gerald Everett was the stream of the year. That was an amazing play.
Thank you.
I'm upset. I did not start it in my league.
Waiver wire. I didn't do any research for that one. I just picked him up.
All right, we'll go on to the Shredders division here, guys. We have Tommy Potter at 6-5, like we've mentioned, and Chuck's Dream and Rudy's Chance. Two terrible teams hanging on to 5-6, one game back somehow, some way. So we do have Tommy Potter playing both teams below him here. So Tom could go on a 2-game skid here, and theoretically one of these bottom teams could make their way up top. But I just don't see that really happening. I think Tommy Potter is going to take this division. What do you think, Phil?
I got to look. All this stuff's really small. It's not even – I want to get into it more on the preview show because I'm going to do some big talking on that matchup.
Yeah, we could just go quick over what we think the predictions here are for each division. So you can just
no, fuck it. I'm going Chuck's Dream. I'm gonna take Chuck's Dream at plus 550. I'm gonna put $10 on it right then. Throw it in there, baby. Take the money.
Put down 10 to win 55. Let's do it.
Yep.
I like that. That would be quite the wrench thrown into things if goddamn Brett Bergeson makes the playoff after having just some weird ass team all year.
That would be yes.
It would be awesome.
Speaking of,
let me see who he needs to beat. He needs to beat Austin Nelson. I'm gonna have some fun with this one.
Uh-oh.
All right, Austin and Isaac, you guys have anything to add? Who'd you guys take here?
I think Tom's gonna make it. It's basically Tom gets to make it every year just as like a wash, which doesn't really seem very fair. But I mean, that's good for the teams for hanging in there this late. I mean, they're still in contention, unlike a couple other teams. So it's cool for them.
Isaac, anything to say, or move on to the next?
Nope. Ditto on Stin. I just want to say shout out to Brett. I said don't send me anything dumb in Slack as far as trades go, and he proceeded to send me Alex Collins and who was it? Some other Steve for Aaron Jones. I think that was stupid. It was stupid.
Well, Alex Collins got a lot of carries last week, so it's not that bad.
It was bad.
It was mainly a joke that Alex Collins didn't really have that many carries. Didn't play. That's all right. So we'll go on to the Clippers division. We have Zeke and Destroy, who's been trying to hang with Party Lake and ACL tear all year, but Trev's just been running so hot this year. It's tough to stay with them. Zeke and Destroy should get that top record wild card spot as he's sitting at 7-4, and it looks like it can only be tied at this point record-wise. So one more win, he locks that up, and then weight room optional down at 3-8, out of the playoffs for sure. I mean, Traps is going to take this one, but I suppose the two teams here do play. I don't know if that's this week or next week, but what do you guys think here? Anybody have an Ellie take it, or do you think Traps is cruising to victory here?
That matchup is this week.
That is this week.
Trevor does not have Kareem Hunt.
That is big.
But it looks like as of right now, Buck Allen will be RB1 for Party Like an ACL tear.
Wow. Maybe. Okay, bring it up quick. Who won their week 2 matchup then?
Going to it.
Because if it was Ellie, then
Trevor shit on him by 4.
Yeah. Then it's almost guaranteed that that Trevor will take this one Actually, it is guaranteed that Trevor will win the division.
Yep.
So.
All right.
Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Well, I guess we can take a look at points. Yeah. So Ellie would need to outscore Trevor by 90 points in the last 2 weeks to take the division. So, all right, on to the last division here, the Bangers division. We have Isaac very comfortably ahead, 4 games ahead of 4 and 5 games ahead of Zeebs and I, respectively. Pop the champagne, Isaac. Heck, light a candle, pour one, whatever you want to do to celebrate your division championship. But kudos to you. Is it your first time winning the Bangers division?
I'm just, I don't know. I just show up. I bring my lunch pail. I go to work, and then I get out. I'm currently just flying my BF 109, killing some Brits on Battlefield 5. So anyway, continue. What were you saying?
Ooh.
No, what's up with everybody trying to do the big bit where they're not caring too much? I don't quite get that. But
it's not a bit. I'm comfortable.
Yeah, you are comfortable. You are cruising.
Isaac, you made some really good roster moves this year. I'm very proud of you.
Hey, I appreciate that.
You have it as an owner, and it's fun to watch.
I appreciate it. We go from 7 QBs in the first 7 rounds to right at the top of the league. So
you have made big strides. We are all proud of you.
I appreciate that.
All right. So
this is why we can't change divisions, baby. We got to keep them the same.
I know. I think that will be a voting point.
Stin, Casey, and I have built this bond.
We have. I agree. We should leave it the same, so then you can fight every year for the division winner.
Stin and I will battle, and Casey will get focused with basketball about halfway through. That's our privilege. We get that. We get that.
Yeah, I know. I think it would be really fun to do the division draft as well, but I also really like the tradition of keeping the divisions the same.
Nothing wrong with tradition.
Nothing wrong with tradition. We'll have to vote on it at the end of the year or next year, coming next year. So, all right. With that said, I think we got to do a little trade talk. So, Shell, since you are the informant, the Adam Shelfter.
Please, someone give me the account information. Please, God.
Please let us know what you know is going on in the trade markets right now. Who are the pieces that are likely to be moved? Who are the teams likeliest to add a player on the home stretch here? Let me know. What do we got?
So here's kind of my understanding. I've texted. Let me go back to most of these were driving and texting. That's on me. It's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've texted 6 of the members today, kind of flirting some stuff out there, seeing what the waters are like. This has been the lowest amount of trades I think we've had as a league this year. We need to pick it up. We all need to get better. And by get better, let me give you 3 for your 1. Benefit me. Help me help you. Just give me 1. I need to make a run right now, boys. So everyone in the league basically knows I'm desperate at RB2. I do have 4 kind of wide receivers. I need to make some plays. We're flirting around. We're flirting around right now. I know Sorum's looking for wide receivers. Yeah, that's a big one. That's pretty
well, yeah, Sorum can never once play the right wide receivers, and he's got really bad ones. So yeah, he needs wide receivers for sure.
And the whole Casey having Julio, OBJ, Mark Ingram, Sony Michel, rattle them off.
Philip Lindsay's been insane.
Philip Lindsay,
Daniel Sanders.
Those guys are all on.
Vance McDonald scores touchdowns like nobody now. So.
Yep. I know I've been trying to do the old pick apart at the bottom feeders of the league type deal. No one wants to do it. No one wants to help me. And I'm really sad. Okay? That's all I know.
What are you asking for? Charity trade?
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Yeah, Jesus.
So anyway, I've thrown shots at Bergie to try and get Nuke. I've thrown shots. I
don't think Brett's gonna be trading Nuke. That's his guy. Plus,
I've been throwing some stuff.
Have you been going for Thielen?
I haven't because Thielen's he's got a rough stretch to finish the year, doesn't he?
With the Patriots, we play the Bears again. No, that's week 17. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Shut down by Jair Alexander next week on Sunday.
Don't get me started about Dylan and freaking Adam Thielen. I swear.
Give us something. Talk.
Is he still
Oh my gosh.
ship off Thielen? Because I know like around week 7 he was really trying to, but I feel like the waters have cooled there.
He was really trying to. Unfortunately, I got a new phone, so I don't have all the text messages. But we had a deal done like 5 weeks in a row. Like 5 weeks in a row. And then I'm like, all right, man, like I hung it out there, I sent it to him, or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, I'll do that, I'll send it to you. And then it never happened. He's like, oh, sorry, I gotta hang on to it for one more week. I just gotta, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
Dylan,
he's the biggest tease ever.
yeah, he's a huge tease. Because then he likes to text somebody else and test the waters and see if they think it's a solid deal, and they're like, and then Dylan gets scared, and then he doesn't do the trade.
But the last time I texted him about it, and I'm not gonna hit him up this week at all because he's a bitch. But I had texted him, I think it was like last week or the week before, and he sent me back this like detailed analysis. He's like, I'd lose that trade by 0.25 points. I can't do that. Like this detail, like it had everybody out, the points out. It was so funny, but I can't do that, man. Can't do that.
All right, let's see here. What else? Austin, do you have Austin went mute. Austin, do you have any people you are trying to ship off, or any players you want to, or positions you want to better on this line, or what?
Tom was trying to get Tyreek or Saquon from me.
I feel like those guys are going to be tough to get from you, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty set on those guys. Other than that, I haven't had any people texting me. I'm usually not very welcoming to text messages about trades. I set that tone straight right away from the start of the season, because I always lose the trades. So yeah, not a lot of prospects on my end. But if people want to, get a solid bench running back in Peyton Barber, feel free to text me.
I could use Peyton Barber. That's the sad thing about it.
You could.
He's a dude. He's a dude.
Yeah, he's something.
I'm going to put you on the spot, buddy. Let's make an over Skype session deal happen right now, okay?
Me?
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to receive Nick Chubb.
Oh, not
me.
You are going to receive T.Y. Hilton. I know you don't like it, but you're going to stack him with an MVP, Andrew Luck.
Well, I like Andrew Luck.
And I'm going to sprinkle in. You see the sprinkle? I'm going to sprinkle in Deion Lewis for you. The old 3-for-1.
Here's the thing. I offered you this trade Sunday morning, and you said no. We'd have to include Jarvis. And then Deion Lewis went and shat the bed again. And now
then T.Y. blew up.
I know T.Y. blew up, but the Titans offense just isn't doing it. I need that consistent running back that's going to be scoring me points, and I think that's Nick Chubb. I mean, it's a solid offer, and I'll think about it, but I just can't pull the trigger right now.
I'll throw in 30 fab.
So you're throwing in Gus Edwards for me?
Yeah.
That's not going to pull Darren Sproles, Jordan. That fab doesn't matter.
That's 63% of a Darren Sproles.
You get to lock up Gus Edwards.
No, I'm putting all 24 in my fab. Gus Edwards is mine.
The funny thing is Gus Edwards is going to play like 4 snaps next week, and Ty Montgomery will somehow get 59% of the snaps or something ridiculous. But yeah, here's the thing, Shell. I want to make a trade on the show as well, and I want Andrew Luck, but I don't know if I want to part ways with one of my running backs. So I will give you one of Smokey Brown, Edo Smith, or Rashad Penny.
Why the fuck would I want that?
I don't know. Better than rostering 2 quarterbacks throughout the whole playoffs.
Hey, I will keep doing it.
What if Chris Carson gets hurt? Rashad Penny's going to be valuable. What if Tevin Coleman gets hurt? Edo Smith's got insane value.
Yeah. What if Andrew Luck just keeps being the MVP?
Then he's going to score 24 points on your bench each week. Like, it doesn't matter.
You need that.
I got Lamar Jackson in his 27 rush attempts. I don't need freaking Andrew Luck.
Oh God, man. Stinner, let's make a deal. Give me Saquon. Let's talk.
Let me look at your team.
You need Devontae Adams. But you don't even need Devontae Adams.
Let's see.
Give you Devontae Adams and Deion Lewis for Saquon.
Deion Lewis.
I don't think Deion Lewis breaks into my lineup.
Well, he's definitely behind Lamar Miller and Peyton Barber.
Well, he might squeeze in between those two.
Who's he ahead of, though? Your guy Barber or your guy Miller?
I can't tell the difference sometimes. So, depending on the week, I guess. Who else? Those are my only 2 running backs. Okay. No, I don't want that, Shell, at all.
Hey, we're going to throw a lot of stuff out tonight.
All right. Here's what I think needs to happen. I think, well, a lot depends on waivers, but I think that Sorum is going to trade away one of Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette
Ooh.
this trade deadline, and I think he's going to do it with Dylan. Out of nowhere, Dylan and Sorum make a deal. Thielen for Christian McCaffrey. I think Dylan has soured on Thielen, and Sorum thinks that Thielen, that steady wide receiver, is what he needs to take him into the playoffs. So that's my dark horse trade that's going to happen this year. And then Dylan thinks he can make way with his wide receivers, and having the trio of Carson, Connor, and McCaffrey would be just perfect to stay away from the punishment. So that's my trade that I think should happen this trade deadline. Shell, you got one? Give me one.
Yeah, honestly, I got a good feeling that someone will. I like your Adam Thielen, but I think it's another player on his team that's going to leave his roster. Partially because it's me that's trying to fucking get him really hard right now.
Trying to get James Conner?
James Conner is not going to be on Dill's team. I'm gunning. I'm going to be desperate as fuck, and I will give up anything. Let that be known to everyone. Desperate as hell. When a desperate man gets his back pushed against the wall, he just starts clawing.
All right. I think this show is just about wrapped up. Isaac, Austin, my guests to the show this week, do we have anything to add before the Thursday trade deadline passes us? What do you have to say? Anything?
I just want to say good luck to everybody. It really is an honor to be on the show again. I'm really, really glad I'm here. Hope to be on again before the end of the year. Austin, what you got?
I just want to say thank you to Jordan and Shell for inviting me onto the show. I would also like to say good luck to everybody this Thanksgiving weekend, and everyone tell your families hello.
What a sentimental bullshit message.
All right. With that, the trade deadline special show is a wrap, and we will be back in your ears Saturday morning. Shell and I, plus maybe a guest host if anybody wants to be on. Looking at you, Zeebs, Brett. Who else hasn't been on?
I haven't heard from Brett in about 3 years. He needs to be on.
Yeah. So if any of you are still listening to this nonsense and want to show up and aren't busy on this holiday weekend, let us know. With that,
8th Street Connection!
8th Street Connection. Good luck, everyone. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.